Well, President Biden and his family spent the weekend at Camp David mulling the family's political future after last week's debate disaster. Reports say the president's family wants him to stay in the race despite that poor showing. Multiple Biden family members expressing anger at those behind the president's debate prep. One top Democratic donor naming 3 advisors and calling for their ouster. John Morgan writing in part on social media, Joe Biden's advisors failed him. He overpracticed and was drained. Biden has for too long been fooled by the value of Anita Dunn and her husband. They need to go today, adding it was political malpractice. Kelly Meyer is live for us outside of the White House. Kelly, what is the mood right now, today, within the Biden camp?
Yeah, Adrian, the mood, at least publicly, is trying to portray this unified front. We saw the Biden family gathering together at Camp David this weekend. We saw some top Democrats and Biden surrogates flooding the Sunday shows, saying that the president isn't going anywhere. We also heard from a source familiar confirming to NewsNation that the president's family in those conversations over the weekend at Camp David urged him to stay in this race, and that the questions of whether or not he's going to drop out, that they are not true, that he isn't going anywhere. And he tried to portray this in some new advertising that the Biden campaign put out today. Take a listen to this. And we're told that First Lady Jill Biden and his son Hunter were the strongest, loudest voices for President Biden to stay in this race. Now, Jill Biden is featured on the cover of Vogue's August edition. And when they reached out to her at Camp David over the weekend, she told Vogue, quote, that they will not let those 90 minutes define the 4 years he's been president. Adding that we will continue to fight President Biden. She added, we'll always do what's best for the country. Right now, the campaign is trying to reassure donors and skeptical Democrats that Biden can do the job for another 4 years. The New York Times editorial board and Atlanta Journal-Constitution both calling on President Biden to drop out. AJC saying, quote, for the good of the nation. Biden sat down with the New York Times editorial board back in 2019, and they asked then if he could do the job for 4 years. He said, quote, watch me, but others are pointing to a very different Biden now 4 years later. Take a listen to this.
He sends out wishful thinking. He has executive orders that have no power. He hasn't lowered drug costs for anybody. He's been promising a health care plan since he got elected. He has none, like almost everything else he talks about. He does not have a plan.
Making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
We're also told there was a lot of frustration from members of the Biden family directed at the campaign staff that helped prep Biden. A source telling us, quote, they did him a disservice. The president has said not to share those sentiments. A senior Biden advisor denies that the family is upset, but a spokesman for the Biden campaign telling us, quote, the aides who prepped the president have been with him for years, often decades, seeing him through victories and challenges. He maintains strong confidence in them. Now, President Biden is set to return to the White House later tonight for a week of events here in Washington, D.C., Adrian, including that 4th of July event, trying to dim any questions of him dropping out of this race. Adrian.
All right. So, Kelly, we know what the family is saying. What about Biden's fellow Democrats? What are we hearing from them?
Yeah, so we're talking about some of those Democrats flooding the Sunday shows, and many of them, from Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock to former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, were standing by the president, saying that he will be the nominee at the Democratic National Convention and going into 2024.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.